the Committee on Early Childhood, Elementary and Secondary Education, and Higher Education and Workforce Investment will come to order. Good morning and welcome everyone. I note that a quorum is present. Both subcommittees are meeting today in a legislative hearing to hear testimony on educating our educators, how federal policy can better support teachers and school leaders. So pursuant to Committee Rule 7C, opening statements are limited to the chairs and the ranking members. This allows us to hear from our witnesses sooner and provides all members with adequate time to ask questions. So I recognize myself now for the purpose of making an opening statement. So today we're looking at the federal government's responsibility to make sure America's children have the teachers they need. We can all agree that every child in the United States, from the Marianas to Maine, deserve quality instructions from quality teachers. Unfortunately for our children, we know that far too many of their most qualified teachers are leaving the profession. These departures have a serious impact on the quality of education, especially the education of children from low-income families and especially for children of color. The Learning Policy Institute reports teacher turnover rates are 50% higher in Title I schools, which serve low-income children, than in non-Title I schools. Mathematics and science teachers turnover in particular is nearly 70% greater than in Title I schools. Children of color are likewise disproportionately impacted. Turnover rates are 70% higher for teachers in schools serving the largest concentrations of children of color. Furthermore, teachers at these schools often have fewer years of experience and are often significantly less well-trained. So as a nation, we really must do better. We have to understand how we can train teachers better and to understand what forces teachers to leave their profession, because our children's education is at stake. We do have some research explaining teacher turnover rates. It shows that teachers are pushed out of their profession because they are not well enough prepared to begin with, because school systems do not support teachers as they should, and because teachers are underpaid. Insufficient preparation and weak support systems are areas where there may be a federal role. So in the last Congress, Committee Democrats introduced the AIM Higher Act, a comprehensive reauthorization of federal higher education policy. One goal of the act is to strengthen programs for teachers. Specifically, the act requires identification of those preparation programs that are not producing the teachers who do not stick with the profession and provides technical assistance to fix those problems. The act also prepares those who will later support other teachers within their schools by including leadership development as part of any teacher's training. And I am sure there is more we could do, which is why I welcome today's witnesses, all teachers themselves, for joining us today to share their perspective on these issues. My two youngest are themselves public school teachers, and I never stop here listening. Sometimes I ignore listening to them. That's all they talk about when they have nothing else to say. So now I yield to the distinguished chair of the Subcommittee on Higher Education and Workforce Investment Hearing, Congresswoman Davis, for her opening statement. Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Diary. Under Committee Rule 8A, we will now question witnesses under the 5-minute rule. As chair, I will go first, and then we alternate. We yield to the members on the other side of this dais. So I now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Dr. Diary, research suggests that well-designed and well-implemented teacher residency models can create long-term benefits for districts, for schools, and most importantly, for the students they serve. So funding under the Teacher Quality Partnership Grant Program under Title II of the Higher Education Act can be used to support residency models. However, the federal government only invests around $40 million in the sole federal program that supports the preparation of our nation's teachers. Can you speak to the importance of increasing federal investments in high-quality teacher residency programs?
Thank you, Chairman Sablan. The teacher residency programs we have found to be quite effective in preparing our educators. Our current cohort is, I believe, at about 42% underrepresented minority, which is more than double what we see in our traditional programs. When TQP was originally funded, I believe it was at $300 million, and that funding has decreased, and I think it's a very strong investment in our teacher preparation, because we're learning models and best practices from those programs that we're actually implementing in our traditional preparation programs. So I do believe that it has been a strong investment for us, and when I say us, meaning the surrounding communities in Richmond that are benefiting from the high quality teachers that we're preparing.
Thank you, Doctor. Ms. McManus, what would it mean to school districts if Congress expanded Title IIA funding to include school leader preparation?
Title II is the funding source that is used in many districts to fund current leader and teacher preparation. And so to expand it would be more opportunities for the programs that you've heard across the group today, from residencies to pre-service training programs to on-the-job support through coaching and mentoring. Title II is that funding source we look to for that. And so by expanding it, we would be able to offer more opportunities so that our leaders and teachers are more prepared and have the supports they need once on the job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See, I come from a district where we have a community college, but the only two four-year degrees they offer are in business, first one is teacher, is in education. And so many of our students, many who are non-traditional, get their four-year degrees either at home or here in the mainland. And then to continue to develop professional development, many of them attend online courses. I just had a nephew who actually received his doctorate from, I think it's USC or UCLA, but he had to move and for 3 summers in a row, actually had to go to campus and take courses there or do teacher residency or whatever. But it took 3 years to do that, and finally he just got his doctorate in education. So yeah, these programs are important, including to my district in the Northern Marianas. And now.